Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Live the Code 3.0. We are so excited to have you all here today. My name is Kanak, and I'll be your host for this event, proudly brought to you by Geek4Geeks ADGIPS chapter. Today's session is a special one. We are diving into the world of data science with Harshvardhan Singh, a data science intern at Geek4Geeks. Whether you are preparing for your next hackathon or just eager to sharpen your data science skills, this session is perfect for you. Harshvardhan will be sharing us some really cool strategies to help you excel in hackathons and beyond. Data science is everywhere these days, and it's changing how we solve problems. On today's talk, data science on today's talk on data science, we'll give you the tools and tricks you need to stand out in your next hackathon. Harshvardhan is going to break down data science in a way that's easy to understand, and he'll share tips that you can start using right away. Now, introducing you our today's speaker, Harshvardhan. Data is a data science intern at Geek4Geeks, and he's been on the winning side on many hackathons. His approach to data science is practical and effective, and today he's here to share those winning strategies with you. We want today's session to be as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions during the talk, feel free to drop them down in the chat. We'll have a Q&A section at the end of where Harshvardhan will answer them. Don't feel shy as this is your only chance. So yeah, now Harshvardhan, over to you.
Hi everyone. Kanak, thank you for the warm introduction. My name is Harshvardhan Singh, and I'll be a speaker for this session. Let's talk about data science. I've created a presentation. Let me share my screen. Give me a minute. Just a minute, guys. Okay. I guess. Just 1 minute, guys. Then we can start. Okay. Share screen. I think if you could share my screen. Yeah, great. Let's start. I hope I'm perfectly audible and visible. Now, give me a minute. Let the presentation start, and then we can start. Yeah, cool. So, first, let's understand what's data science, right? So, data science is a process of using scientific methods and algorithms, process to extract the knowledge. First, let's understand as to how the life cycle of data science work. The very first thing is your business understanding. So business creates a problem. Okay, you have a problem with you that's created by the business end. You understand the problem. The next step is data mining, right? So once you have extracted the data, once you know the problem, next step is data mining. So there you extract the data. Now the data here is not in the form of rows and columns, correct? Like the forms that you've seen. It's more of in forms of NoSQL kind of databases where it's in a haphazard manner. That's clearly raw data, right? So that is when you do the data mining. Next step is the data cleaning. As I mentioned, the data is not clean at all. This is totally raw data. So you need to clean the data. You need to structure the data in such a manner that it is readable, correct? So that you can work on the data. The next step is data exploration. Now you've cleaned the data, you have the data in structured manner. The very next thing is data cleaning. So once you've structured the data, once you've cleaned the data, next you have to explore the data as to how the data looks, what are the correlation it has, how you can like you understand the structure of data. You understand how to move forward with data. So that is all done in data exploration. The very next step is feature engineering, right? So you take a feature, you understand using correlation and all that which feature lies in which factor lies on which features and all. So you move with the feature engineering. So you select a kind of column in which you have to apply these things, apply the technologies, apply the the deployment, so that you can understand about, so that you can move closer to completing your business problem. Correct. Then the next step is predictive modeling. There you create the models in which the models helps you to clean the data, to understand the information about them, and many other things that is done in predictive modeling. Next, finally, you have the insights. The model has created the insights and everything. Now, once it is done, only you understand that what you have done, what the model has done. You need to tell this to others as well. Correct. Only you know about the data, what all extracts you have, what all you have extracted. Now you want to share these extracts to your stakeholders. That is when data visualization comes into the picture. We're going to explore about all of them. This is just a basic introduction. Correct. Okay. Next is the prerequisites of data science. The very few things that you need to know about data science. The very first thing is mathematics. Many times, what happens is if you're applying at companies, companies do take a preference for students, for freshers who have a background in data science, who have a background in mathematics, because data science is built on mathematics. You need to know the basics of mathematics because the models are built in such a manner. They use probability, you have stats, you have linear algebra. All these foundational concepts are helpful because models are based on them. So you need to have a good understanding of mathematics. Next, you need to move to computer science, right? In the computer science, you need to know the programming language, the skills, the data structures, your algorithms, the way as to how to create the how to solve these problems. You should have a mindset of problem solving because this is very essential in model building as well when you're entering into the field of data science. Next is domain expertise. You need to know which domain you're working in, how the values, how the data is valuable, how you can extract the insights, how the structure of the entire thing works. You need to know about all those things. Finally, is the communication skills because, as I mentioned, at the end of the day, you know about the insights that you have extracted using your machine learning model for your insights that you have extracted via doing some methodologies. Now you should have the communication skills to explain as to what has happened, what you have done, and all to the users. Correct? That's when communication skills come into the picture. Next, let's understand the fundamental skills of data science. The very first fundamental skills are data acquisition and cleaning. As I mentioned, the data that you extract is in very raw or in very raw manner. Correct. So you need to know about data acquisition, how to acquire the data, how to clean the data. Then comes exploratory data analysis, your EDA portion, where you understand the structure of the data, what all correlates with one another, how the data is correlated, how the data is connected with one another. If I move one insight, how is it going to hamper on the other one? All these things come under the exploratory data analysis, right? Next is statistical modeling. So based on whatever you have done from the data, you create a modeling kind of thing. So you understand the data, you test your hypothesis, you create a hypothesis that this could be a possibility. Using machine learning models, you extract things, and then you understand that was your hypothesis true or not. Those all comes under statistical modeling. Now, why these are important is because many a times in startups you're going to apply in many startups. So many times what happens is in startups, they because the team is very small in manner. So what they want is that as a data scientist, you know as to how to extract the data. Whereas in situated companies like big MNCs and all, there are separate teams for your data cleaning, your data mining, and everything. Exploratory data analysis. What happens in MNCs, you get some clean data, and based on that, you apply your machine learning models. You create models from that. Whereas, as I mentioned in your startups, many times you have to start with the very scratch. You need to acquire the data on your very own. You have to clean the data on your very own. You have to apply the exploratory data analysis on your very own. You then start with the machine learning models, and at the very end you have to create your visualizations as well, data visualization, so that you can communicate with your stakeholders. So the entire progress many times you have to do on your very own. So this is good if you know about the basics from the very scratch, because many times you get lost and you need to understand everything. Now, what are the necessary technologies and tools? Very basic. You need to know a programming language. You have many programming languages that you can do, but Python and R are very of the popular ones. What I personally recommend is Python, because many times what happens is many people build these statistical models and all, and they check the big companies as well who are developing these machine learning models. They check that are they compatible with Python or not. Correct. So you need to have a good strength in knowledge on Python programming language. You should know about Python programming X and Y, everything about that, right? Because Python offers a lot of libraries. Many and all these libraries are present in Python. You can directly import them rather than creating them from the very scratch. Next are the visualization tools. You need to know about the visualization tools. As I mentioned, Power BI and Tableau, one of the very few, so that you can create insights and you can explain that to your stakeholders. Next are the machine learning libraries. So in machine learning, what happens is many a times you have some libraries that are pre-built, and you directly import that to your model building. That helps you with easing your process, right? You have scikit-learn, you have uh, PyTorch, you have TensorFlow. These consist of many of the modules which help you in doing these tasks that you are doing in very easy manner. Correct. So you need to know as to how what all I can do with scikit-learn, what all I can do with PyTorch, TensorFlow. Okay. Next is cloud computing platforms, right? So you have platforms like AWS, Azure, GCP. All these platforms are very essential in learning, in understanding about data science. Correct. Now, many times what happens is your data is very big and your processing is very. You have to process data on a very large scale, and your computer is not able to handle that. Right. So that's when you take the help of AWS, Azure, and so you can host your work there. You can take the help of the storage mechanism, and you can store your data there. Also, it helps in deployment and all. So that is very helpful, and you should know about how to do that. Now, next, let's explore the applications and the use cases of data science. The very first case is healthcare, right? So, healthcare uses predictive analysis, personalized medicine, drug discovery as to how. Suppose there is a patient, correct? Suppose there is a patient and there are logs on him, and the doctor is giving some medicine, and they're checking the records on how the patient is performing, right? So manually the doctor can do that, but the process can be automated as well. So you create a machine learning model, you provide all the reports to them, and based on the report is going to tell that is the progress in a positive way, or is it deteriorating, or is it neutral. Based on that, the doctor can check and can change the medicines that it's providing, right? So these are very helpful in healthcare. You have your drug discovery as well. So the process of drug discovery is implemented, and it is given to data science, your algorithms, and based on that, the algorithm keeps on working and checks what all drugs can be used in healthcare. Correct. This is one of the few applications of data science. Next is finance. You have fraud detection, your risk assessment, algorithmic trading. Many times you know about good traders, you have heard about trading and all. So machine learning is also helpful there, because you know the techniques and tricks that the professional traders use, right? All those learning, all those insights can be put into a machine learning model, right? So the model takes all the knowledge from before, from right now, and in future as well. Based on that, it can help you give an insight as to how the market is going to work, what all where all I can invest, and what are the ups and downs that are going into the market and all. Of course, that's not perfect. Many times it's not perfect, but it is continuously learning. and machine does not have an age. Correct? Humans have age. At the age of 100, human are going to die, but the insights are kept in a machine learning model. So these build up, and based on that, you can using your algorithmic trading and all. That's your use in finance. Next is retail. You have customer segmentation, recommendation system, inventory optimization. I've read a report. I've read a report on that your inventory management as to in a superstores, how the products should be aligned one next to one another can help you increase the sale of each other. There was a case where uh, right next to your what do you say, your diapers that are used for babies, diapers, right next to the diapers there were beer can placed. Okay, and that skyrocketed the sales of beer, because fathers who used to like take those toilet papers like these uh, for the babies, they took beer along with that. Right, so that was a very great insight. So this is how machine learning can help you to understand about inventory optimization. You have your recommendation system, that what all products are selling at high range and which all customers are taking that. So based on that, you can keep specific product in specific places where the customer can take those things. Next is your marketing. You have your targeted advertising, you have your customer churn prediction, campaign optimization. So you know about, you've seen this is a very common phenomena that you're looking about shoes, right? You're typing shoes in your Google, and right next thing that you see is, once you're opening Facebook or you're running Instagram, you can see that the same shoes ads are going to pop up. Correct. So this is all because of AI. They have taken all the data and they have sold your data, and based on that, it has created a persona of you, and they have created as to what kind of shoes they take, and based on that, the you see it's a certain amount of ads. That's a very basic thing that you've seen. But these models, these targeted advertisement, your customer churn prediction, it all helps you to understand that which customer is there to purchase the things, which customer has purchasing thing, which is loyal, which is not loyal. All these things can be understood using your machine learning model. Next is your social media. You have your sentiment analysis, trend identification, content moderation. So, what these PRs do is based on your your identification of your sentiment analysis. They design a post as to which would be a great hit among the social media viewers. Based on that, they create hashtags and all that. That's a very basic SEO. So if you take those things and they automate that using your machine learning, this is how at a very large scale social media is helpful in data science. Correct. Now these are the very few use cases that you commonly see. That's the reason I place a very these top five. There are n number of use cases in data science, and they are keep developing. Next, the very awaited thing, that is the roadmap of data science. How to move forward with that? Very first thing is build the basics, build the foundation basics of that. Many times, like you can see that you understand about Gen AI, all these new concepts that are coming into the picture. What happens is, uh, you understand the Python language and you can directly jump to your Gen AI, right? You don't need to, there's no compulsion of doing machine learning and deep learning. You can directly jump to Gen AI, but that's not a good practice, because this is a developing field. Machine learning, data science, this is a developing field, and every day you keep on seeing progress. Every day you have some new technology coming to the picture. So if you don't have your fundamentals strong, then definitely you're not going to understand things. It's basically building your foundations help in a manner that once you have built your foundation, any new technology that comes into the picture, you can crack the code and you can understand that what all it is doing from the very scratch. So that is why all these building of foundations, and these include basics of your Python, your exploratory data analysis, your databases, then you have your machine learning, you have deep learning, you have NLP. These are the fundamentals you need to work on. You need to have a knowledge of them. Next is the gain practical experience. as we mentioned, build some good end-to-end projects. End-to-end means you need to deploy them as well, right? That's an end-to-end project. So build those kind of projects for yourself and then participates in hackathons, right? So there are many hackathons that are going on. Participate in those hackathons. So basically what happens is once you're sorry for that, once you are participating in hackathons, it builds an image. It helps you create an image that yes, I have done a problem statement, I was given a problem statement, and with the team I have collaborated with that, and I have created so and so thing, and it has helped with so and so improvement, right? So that you can directly add to your resumes. So once you're shortlisted for a company, they check all these accomplishments that you have done in hackathon, so they know that if you have collaborated in a team, you can collaborate with their team as well, and you can be helpful in the team as well. That creates a very great image for you. Okay, and you can contribute in open source projects like and build a portfolio. That is how you can do that. Build some of these great projects, take part in hackathons, upload that in your resume, and move forward. That's the basic thing of data science. Because what you understand in data science is a field which is very kind of critical kind of field. So once you get inside the field and you have an expertise for 1 year, then so you're good to go. Then your salary is going to move expand in exponential manner, because data science is such a field that you have your data and you extract, you build models, and then you gain then you gain your you extract your information from that. Now supposedly you're not able to do the things, you don't know the thing, and now you're selected in a company and you build some models, you gain some extract, you extract some data, but obviously they were not good because you don't have the knowledge for that. The company is going to suffer the loss, correct, and your data is also going to get tarnished. Because of all those things, many companies don't ideally take students who are freshers in this. So if you have some credentials, if you have some good projects, if you have participated in hackathon, they'll be good to go that yes, this guy is he has some credentials and he can do so and so things. Correct. That's the reason in this field you need to have a good portfolio. Next is network and next is network and connect. So you need to have your networking skills so that you can connect with the people who are working in this industry, know about the technologies that are happening, which all technologies are used in offices and all. You need to be updated with that. Finally is continuously learning. As I mentioned, this is an ever growing field, so you need to continuously learn and move forward with that. Next are challenges and considerations in data science. Very first thing is data quality. The data that is extracted, many a times it's not clean at all. It has some problems, it has some inaccuracies, it's not complete, it is inconsistent. That is a problem that happens in data quality. Next is data privacy. There is a very sensitive line as to which all data you can use in data science, because many times these data are extracted from you only, and that could be breaking. That could be like it's a sensitive data, and the problem is that if you don't directly get, like, you don't create a fine line between what is uh, protecting your sensitive data, that can be harmful. So that's one thing. That's one of the considerations and challenges that you have. Next is biases and fairness. So mitigating these biases in algorithms. So many times you have to create some biases. You have to create some kind of factors that you have to keep in mind once you're building these models. So that is one of the challenges that you have to take place. Next is explainability and interpretability. So understanding what the model does is very important, because many a times what that model is doing could be a little difficult to understand. That's the reason you need to keep the model very clean. You need to have your basics very grounded as to what the model has to move forward. Correct. And finally, that is the conclusion. The next step is developing. But like as I mentioned, data science is a dynamic and rewarding field. It's just that you need to be continuously upgraded with the field. You need to know everything about the field. You need to be continuously learning about the field, and that's it. Keep learning, keep learning about the new technologies that are coming to the picture. Have your foundations completed, uh, create some good end-to-end projects, and you're good to go. That's all from my side. Now let's take some questions. Okay, I'm open for questions.
Yes. So thank you so much, Harshvardhan, for that amazing session. Now we'll be having a Q&A session, and I'll read out the questions for you. And everyone, do drop down your questions if you haven't. So let's start with the first question. The questions will be visible on the screen also.
Yeah.
So the first question is anything with the AI engineer.
Okay. So AI engineering is also a great field. So as I mentioned in AI as well, you need to know about deep learning. You need to know about RNN, CNN, build your models, your neural models for AI. That's also a great field. But again, as I mentioned, you need to be very thorough with your basics, learn about your foundation things, and move forward with AI engineering. That's also a great field for that. But you need to be great with your foundation, then only you can work in this field of AI engineering. Okay.
Yes. So the next question is what are some factors in creating in bias?
Okay. So once you're creating your AI models, there are many a times that there are some outliers that exist in your databases that could create a problem once you are understanding, once you're building your models. So you need to have a bias in them that if the data is like this is a very basic kind of thing that I'm explaining, that you need to know the and understand the like advanced concepts of it. That the very basic thing that I'm telling, that you need to create some filters as to this is the range that I'm taking, right? And then you need to take some values that are outliers as well. Like you created a kind of a range and you're taking the data on that, you're training the model based on that, and then you have some outliers that are very high and that are very low. So once you're done with training the basic things, you need to inculcate these outliers as well in your databases, in your model building, so that it can take all those outliers and know that these are outliers as well. Because if you if you have a simple kind of range, if you take the data sets on the very simple range, then the model is going to be very stale and it's not going to be a perfect result. So those are some of the biases that you have to take. Also, you can learn about these things, and these are very advanced concepts. So explaining them here, it would be a little difficult. Okay, that's a very basic.
So the next question is AI and data science disrupting the market for web devs and why it's difficult to have internships in data science?
Okay, I am going to answer the second part of the question first. That is, why is it difficult to have internships in data science? Because as I mentioned, that no good company is going to hand over their precious data to a completely stranger and have them create databases and help them create something on that, right? So for that, you have to have some good projects. You have to have some. You have to have some hackathons. You have to have some portfolio based on that. Once they're confident that yes, you can do the task, then only they are going to provide you internships. So there are internships, it's just that you have to create some good projects, some good resume, some good portfolio, and then they're going to provide you with internships. Next, second part of the question is AI and data science disrupting the market for develops? Now, as I mentioned, AI is going to take over the market, but it is right now in the building phase. So the market for DevOps is not gone, because someone told me that if you are good at a thing, no one is going to take your job. Okay, because at the very end, if you are into the top 5%, and if you are in the very top 5% of your industry, no one is going to take a job, because at the end they have to take a valid credential from the individual, and that would be you. So definitely these jobs are disrupting the market, but they are not disrupting right now. Okay, there's going to be, you have some years before that. And also if you're good at the web devs and all, no one is going to take your job.
That was a great point, Harsh. So the next question is DSA important to get a job as data scientist?
Okay, so building the basics of DSA is essential. It's not that it's not like it's a very important thing in data science, but yeah, it's good to have your DSA basics, because many times what happens is in big companies, they once they are having the interview rounds, they are going to ask some questions. Some at times they ask questions on DSA as well, because again, what is DSA? DSA helps you in building your problem solving skills. Once you're having good problem solving skills, then you can definitely help them create models and solve their problems, right? So this is like a credentials for them, that yes, you know DSA, you have problem solving skills, you can be a great data scientist.
And so the next question is, what skills do data scientists need to develop to stay relevant in the future, and how can we adapt to changing technologies?
Okay, what skills do data scientists need? The As I mentioned, the skills are, you need to know about the libraries, the scikit-learn libraries, the TensorFlow. There are many developments that are keep happening in the field of data science, right? So you need to be updated with that. You need to be updated with the new modules, the new libraries that are coming to the picture. Uh, you have your LLMs model, you have your LLM models, you have your chat GPT, you have your LangChain, all these things, all these deployment techniques, you need to be aware about them. And how you can be aware? By connecting with the individuals who are actually working in these industries and understand as to what technologies they are using. You can ask about them. And how you can adapt to the changing technologies is, adapting is, as I mentioned, you need to know the basics, your foundations that I mentioned. You need to have a strong grip on your foundation. Anything that is new that is coming with the technologies, it will be uh, based on these foundation things, right? So if you have your foundation strong, you can adapt to anything, any new technology that is going to come into the picture.
So that was the last question. So, and that's it for our session today. A huge thank you to Harshvardhan for sharing his insights and making data science a bit less daunting for us. I'm sure everyone had learned something valuable that they can take that they can take to their next hackathon. And thank you all for joining us at the Live the Code 3.0, organized by Geek for Geeks ADGIPS chapter. We hope you had a great time and that you'll join us for the upcoming events. Have a fantastic day and keep coding. Thank you.
Also, I've shared my LinkedIn here, so in case
Yeah.
you have some
So
problems, you can definitely connect with me.
yes, we have dropped down the link in the comment section, so you can connect with him. Okay.